Hey guys, Shashi Dean here. Welcome back to the Business Vlogs channel. We're in a different setting here because the room I typically record in had a freaking hornet. Ah, yeah, so I wasn't gonna deal with that BS because this is my focus period. Right in the morning, I can't have any distractions, especially a hornet stinging me out of nowhere while I'm recording or, creating systems. So, yeah, I had to remove myself from that environment pretty quickly there. And I'll deal with that later, obviously. I'll kill it, I guess. I'll have to. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's talk about the progress on the main channel and clients. So, yeah, my main channel is my AI operations channel. You guys can find it in the description or you can search it up, Shashudin AI operations. And this month has been a slower month than last month. And there was a family emergency that occurred in the beginning of this month, which did, I would say, shift my focus away from work and more so on other things, right? Um, and so, this month I've spent more time, I guess, recovering mentally from that experience. Um, but yeah, last month was definitely a lot better in terms of channel growth. However, I will say my expertise in operations, solving bottlenecks or problems within operations, has improved massively. Um, and that's just through repetition, right? But I would say the reason growth has been slower is because one, I switched from daily uploads to every other day uploads, which I do plan on sticking to because um, I plan on sticking to that because, well, I want to get uploads all the way up until May 31st, right? Now, this might be a dumb move, and you guys let me know, but after May 31st, that's when I'll actually start working with potential clients. So right now, as I'm making content, I'm just building a wait list of people who will want to work with me, uh, as I'm an operationalist here. And yeah, with the content, I'm simply positioning myself in the AI space and building an audience and letting them know like, hey, I'll be free after May 31st to help you solve a constraint around your operation and even scale your operations if you plan on doing so. And the people I'm working with are AI agencies or agencies implementing AI. And yeah, I would say my expertise has improved, except the frequency of uploads has decreased. And I would also say the topics I'm solving around might not be the best topics. Um, in the previous month, I would I would say I was solving for topics that were more um, trendy. Because right now I'm just focused on evergreen content, but it would be a good idea to also solve around trends because the trends feed the evergreen content. Evergreen content has a much longer bench life, right? People will continue searching it up till I don't know, like 5 years later, perhaps. And then a trend-based content might only last for like a week or a month, right? Or a few months, depending on the trend, because trends come and go. But evergreen content, for example, let's say I searched up how to tie my shoe, and a video from like 10 years ago will show up, basically. That's evergreen content. It's a standard need, right? It's a commodity subject that people will still need the problem solved for years down the line. But a trend-based problem will only last for a short period of time. But it feeds the evergreen content. And so, you know, as a human being, I get a little uh I guess lost in the sauce when it comes to the view count, which is not good. But it is somewhat of a signal that I should start doing more trends as well as my evergreen content because they both are good, right? Because if I don't do trend based content, then people may never find my evergreen content, right? Like, let's say they search up whatever my evergreen content is, you know, on the subject of, they might never find it because it doesn't have enough momentum, right? Like it doesn't have enough watch time, enough views, so YouTube won't even put it up on the YouTube search. So yeah, and this is just from my own experience of making content for a long time. I've been making content since I came out of the womb, almost that. So it's been a long time since I've been making content. Anyway, I need to keep this video short because I am past my time. Um, Today was more of a step back and think day before I started working because I realized my focus was somewhat deranged. Um, thinking about, just making more evergreen content, hoping it pans out. It does, but it needs to be mixed with trends, right? And I'm also thinking about, you know, uh, how I can create change in my clients, within my clients, right? Because there's two way of doing things for me. It's either actually solving the constraints and actually solving for scaling their operations, or just having them self-discover for themselves with proper questions. And I've been practicing this. The questions I ask comes from lived experience and lived expertise because they're crafted perfectly for the outcome that they're looking for, right? And so they're not just basic questions. They're crafted uh, from an expert position, right? Now I'm not saying I'm a complete expert, but I do have experience and lived expertise. Um, in the sales industry, the marketing industry, and I even know quite a lot about AI when it comes to agents and automations and workflows in general. So, yeah, if you're seeing this, I hope you're in the AI space. That would be awesome. If not, I hope you're in the business space, the online business space. And if you're not, I hope you're inspired or I hope you're aspiring to start an online business or get into the AI agency space or launch a software or whatever, because we're moving into a time where everyone will be required to be creative eventually, because most things, almost everything, and people don't like to admit it, but it will be automated, right? And we keep saying no, like AI is not going to replace us, it's just going to enhance what we do. mm, it's getting very intelligent and it's very supernatural, right? It's like the internet itself is supernatural. I can't even explain how the internet was created, and I don't need to, because life, the information that we take care of is meant to be hierarchical. So I'm not focused on technicalities when it comes to building agents and automations. I'm not focused on any of that stuff. I'm focused on the high level information, solving for high level problems for AI workflows. This is the information I take care of, right? So, yeah, I believe if I had to predict the future, most things will get automated. And I believe people, like let's say customer service, for example, we're going to move into a time where people will prefer to get the phone call answered by an AI than a human being because, well, that might just be the new time we move into. We'll perceive AI as a better uh, I guess entity to speak to, right? Maybe more expertise, or just they don't have to deal with a human being having a bad day on the phone, having an attitude, etc. Who knows? Times change, right? And our behavior changes. For example, the time we live in right now, there's more mental resistance to socialize in person, right? Now we're using apps and texting and starting with the application before we meet up in person and everything like that, right? Now, although that helps with finding specific people with similar interests and similar expertise and experiences and maybe in the same industry as you, doing the same thing, that relatedness that matters in a relationship. Yes, that applies, But, you know, sometimes people do that, but still stay on the internet when it comes to maintaining that relationship and building that relationship, which is, I would say, a problem. But anyway, that's besides the point. As you guys know, times change and behavior changes. This resistance to socialize in person was not a thing back in the day. There was less resistance because we weren't, the habit wasn't using technology, it was going out and socializing, right? So with AI, people like to underestimate it because they don't want to be replaced. They're afraid of change. Everyone is. We're human beings. We're risk averse and we're quite frugal, right? Although frugality doesn't really apply to this, we're risk averse. And so the risk is adapting to AI before it replaces us. And since we're not willing to take the risk of changing, then we rationalize how AI will not replace us, which is not true. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you found this valuable and you want to see more of me on your home feed, hit that subscribe button. Take care.